Okay, UPS is here communicating a threat. This is the demonic pattern of conduct that the entity engages in. That's UPS while the entity sounds helicopter activity. UPS that knows it's being, this is the entity that arrives communicating a threat by virtue of the use of that logo, that knows that at 9:30 in the morning, a demon was driving a UPS vehicle, engineered light filled all over the inside of that vehicle, and that demon driving molested my person with engineered light. So the same entity, you're looking at the pattern of conduct and acting in concert with LAPD as well. This is the entity that's acting in concert with the people of the state. It's currently light source that's nowhere near the Fontana Lewis Library at 6:20 p.m. That's the P.O.C. The people of the state are monitoring their crossing path, and this is the demon-possessed entity that engages in these shows, which is engaging in what is psychological torture. UPS is going to be subject to civil and criminal prosecution, and this driver, present at what is 6:20 p.m., will be information produced in federal prosecution, civil and criminal prosecution, and he's going to federal prison. He's a sex offender. UPS is a sex offender engaging in terrorism in the specific environment, okay? This is P.O.C. going out of their way to communicate a threat while they know that they've been documented today, because you're looking at what happened at 9:30 in the morning in Pomona, California, while a demon was operating just like that's a demon in the same exact environment in engineered light, while that demon-possessed agency sounds helicopter activity, monitoring with the people of the state who are pacing up and down Alvarado, driving in engineered light. I want pictures of. That's P.O.C. You see the engineered light on the UPS vehicle? That's the engineered light that's shooting like a laser on that white vehicle. That demon that's driving that UPS vehicle is not different from the rest of the people of the state. The entity went out of its way to come and participate. This is demonic activity. This is how the demon-possessed engage in what is satiating their wicked desire to somehow engage in some sort of act of retaliation. And it's all to their own demise. There is no coincidences. There is nothing other than the pattern of conduct. This is the same apartment where the sun is rising. That's the light source. And the entity, the people of the state coming, engaging in the sex offense via UPS, who's going to be subject to civil and criminal prosecutions. And today, let me be clear, March 22nd, 2022 is not the first time I documented the people of the state via UPS engaging in state surveillance and sexual violence and terrorism. Outwardly engaging in what is service to Satan. That's what you need to know about UPS. The people of the state, all 59 units, are living here engaging in what UPS just came onto the grounds to participate in. Surrounded by what is over the buildings, none of that sunlight, none of it's going to happen while the light source is remaining at the Fontana Lewis Library. These demons are pacing around in engineered light that you see all over the light source that is setting at the same address, okay? That, I want to be clear, UPS is going to produce the identity of that driver. That's the demon-possessed third party who's going to federal prison. The entity sounds helicopter activity while I'm capturing images of what you already know, because I already have video of the entity keeping engineered light through my closed blinds after 6 p.m. Replete with what is stalking by commercial actors such as Amazon Prime and the entity, the people of the state that are pacing all around in that specific engineered lit environment. But I want to be clear, UPS also uses their planes. What you just saw them engage in right now, they use their planes also to engage in terrorism, stalking and airplanes, they're commercial airline planes, and they're heavily documented. So I want to be clear, this is going to what are punitive damages is how it will be referred to, but there has not been before contemplated the damages that the entity is going to be subject to with regard to engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring, engaging in what is this demonic act of terrorism. This is psychological torture that UPS just came and included its brand name again, because that's what they were doing in Pomona at 9:30 in the morning when I'm capturing, or excuse me, 9:15 or 9:30, it's either one of those videos, and you're looking at a demon operating a commercial vehicle. The inside of that vehicle filled all the way up to the top, engineered light all over his face, all over the inside of that vehicle, and engineered light molests my body. That's a sex offense that UPS engaged in. UPS comes and engages in a sex offense again, monitoring me inside of the private space in concert with LAPD. So UPS, when it's federally prosecuted, is going to produce the identity of that third party who was wearing dark black glasses and crossing path, exiting, making a delivery at building 1802, 1800, all right, at 6:20 p.m. under the light source. All right, and they're acting in concert with all 59 units here. They're nothing other than group stalkers. Delivering a package to a third-party group stalker in concert with LAPD equals federal prison. Doing so with ongoing knowledge of the documentation is the impermissible threat. That's also grounds of federal prison. All right, as the entity goes out of its way to communicate such a threat, I want you to understand what's the reality of UPS. These are, let me be clear, servants of Satan. So you are a consumer of UPS, those that actually care about this, and there are plenty in the world that do care about it, that do not serve Satan, okay? And this is what you need to know about what's going on in the world. This is a pattern of conduct, and it's criminal, but you also need to know with regard to the reputation of these companies. They serve Satan. okay? And they're targeting someone who is also exposing that fact. This is demon possession, that ongoing obsession, the inability to control yourself. In other words, the inability to cease to engage in that which is directly incriminating you and everyone else. That's what the demon possessed cannot stop themselves from doing. And that's unlawful as well. That's why they pose an unlawful threat. And that's why let me be clear, that driver is subject to what are mental examinations, exhibiting that same ongoing obsession with the targeted individual. That is the pattern of conduct. The demon possessed are ticking time bombs, and there will come a day when they're not going to try to conceal that. That's what you're seeing hints of. All right, I want to be clear. They're not really hints. Stalking in a helicopter, flying 47 minutes in a circle in alignment, engaging in what are acts of kidnapping, engaging in acts of criminal definition. Those are not hints. I want to be clear. That's not really hinting. But I want to, even this is subtle, because you're talking about what's going on in the world. I am one person and I'm exposing what's going on here, and it lets you know a lot about what's going on around you. And these businesses they don't deserve to exist, to be honest with you. And it's justice that they lose their reputation. UPS is going to be listed as a group stalker engaging in state terrorism, going to be prosecuted as a sex offender. That's what's going to happen, because that's exactly what they're doing. All right. And doing so in a demonic method is not in any way going to make it impervious to being captured in what is legislation, to being prosecuted in a federal court. It's not going to work like that. Okay, so I just want to be clear. There's no coincidence. Today I documented, reminded you about UPS at 9:15, 9:30 in the morning, where the light source is over me, where I'm documenting the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department as well. The entity is engaging in an ongoing act of retaliation, which is the pattern by this entity. This is what the demons of the Los Angeles Police Department continuously have engaged in, and they're going to regret it, and so are the people of the state, because it's going directly against them. It's going directly against the people of the state. But this goes to the impunity. It goes to the psychopath. Understand, it goes to the demented, the deranged mindset of those who are holding the hands of children, looking to the left and the right while they live at the crime scene, engaged in the crime of the secret society. This is demonic pacing. Okay, at nightfall, they have triple shadows moving all over the place as though they're oblivious. That's the malice of the demon possessed. And that's why they're all going to federal prison that live here. And that's how you're going to treat uniformly the people of the state that engage in this level of dedication to state surveillance. All right, that's demonic pacing. They're walking in opposite directions. All right, they look to the left and the right. This is what Kilsa did while she was walking by me, and her shadow moved against the wall, acting like she's oblivious to your presence. That's a psychopath. All right, and that's why she's going to federal prison. She's going to federal prison, and all the rest of them, including UPS that arrived to participate. Satan had to go out of its way and wanted to make sure that it participates. Let me be clear. The commercial actors, that's been documented over the years, and it's the personification of the demon possessed. You're just looking at it through the use of a logo. Okay, it's currently 6:27 p.m. There is no sun that's going to be I captured 6:02 and 6:05 p.m. where I am inside of the Fontana Lewis Library at 8437 Sierra Avenue in Fontana, California. This cross street is Spring Street, and you're looking at what is engineered light. I'm referencing impossible light activity that's on the second floor, appearing on the ceiling above me. Impossible light, while demons are doing this like it's regular traffic, like they're just ordinary pedestrians. That's the malice of the demon-possessed population. It's called secret society for a reason. So it's supposed to occur. They're supposed to act as though they're oblivious. They're supposed to act disinterested. That's malice. You're going to be prosecuting psychopaths for being sex offenders and stalkers, obsessed ones, okay? Mentally deranged ones. And that is occurring through the use of commercial means, commercial stalking, highly malicious, the face of the government that's placing you under surveillance. And there is no sun that's going to be visible outside of my window. I'm capturing video on March 22nd, 2022, the same day that UPS is captured engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring, state surveillance, demonic activity, a sex offense, molesting me with engineered light, the outward demonstration of demon possession. And that is literally replicated today in the same exact environment. Let me be clear. You saw engineered light on my ceiling today. You're looking at engineered light that's in alignment to me. This is the same sky space where the entity places the moon at night. They're demons, and I am the center of their universe, and you're recognizing and prosecuting what are psychopaths that target you, which you are identifying through the environment, and then they look to the left and the right as though they're doing something else. That's called psychological torture. All right? You're going to prosecute to the furthest extent of the law, and they will be subject to the mental examinations that they want to falsely depict the targeted individual as one needing. That's why, okay? That is not somebody that's insane, doesn't know what they're doing. That's wicked. That's twisted, very malicious, psychopathic conduct, sociopathic conduct. And it is that which is a public entity is engaging in. It is a matter of public corruption. All 59 units filled with third parties are going to federal prison. They engage in criminal facilitation. That's why you have people like the FedEx and UPS, Amazon Prime coming at, you even saw the The other, it's, I want to say another courier engaging in the same pattern of conduct. You saw they're coming and delivering. That's criminal facilitation. Everything is serving the pattern of conduct. Oh, I'm going to order food. Uber comes. Uber's monitoring. Period. Uber's monitoring. This is ongoing because of that ceaseless act of criminal facilitation, because of that ceaseless act of the elements of monitoring, because of that deranged pattern of conduct, which is not a secret anymore. And then you're seeing a psychopath continue to stalk you and hold the knife up to your throat while looking behind like anybody. You're holding a knife to my throat. I'm looking at you. I clearly know that you're the one holding the knife to my throat, but you're talking about a psychopath that's looking behind like you don't know that their hands are around your neck, like you don't know that they're the ones holding the knife, wielding that knife. That's the delusional psychopath. That's what the entity is engaging in, and it is sick. That's the demon possessed, and that's what you need to learn about. You're looking at, I want to be clear, the entity, this is all impossible light, all right? It's not the light sources as on March 22nd, remaining at the Fontana Lewis Library, but it's also impossible because the light source is facing me. So at what vantage point is this light activity going to occur? All right, this is the engineered environment where they're driving all around, monitoring, using commercial means such as UPS. That engineered light on the side of that vehicle suddenly disappeared. It was never going to be there naturally anyway. It's on the building, on the property, directly implicating that third-party group stalker that lives in the path. That's grounds of federal prison. Up and down, systematically engaging in a sex offense. That is what is so despicable about the pattern of conduct. That is what is so disgusting about demons pacing in opposite directions. That's what this is. All right, so this is the use of a child to engage in what is loitering in a relevant position. These are psychopaths who keep their back to you, talking to minor children when they're focused on you. You know how you know that? Hold on. Source that's rising and setting where they live. They're in the environment where engineered light is appearing on your ceiling, and then they are engaging in this conduct. That's why you're taking those children. They are literally a threat to the lives of those children. One bad day, and you'll get a false narrative about what actually happened to that child. These are dangerous psychopaths, okay? And that's literally the reality while they're targeting another American citizen. It is speaking to the threat that they are to the minor children, who they are also employing in that pattern of conduct, all right? I want to be clear. It is currently 6:32 p.m. This is P.O.C. the source. This is the direct prosecution of the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, because there's no sun that's over me, as you already know, while they're pacing around in engineer light, just like Marina Davila, just like this third-party group stalker and the minor child that they have made a sex offender and a terrorist engaging in the pattern of conduct, pacing around in engineer light in the specific environment. That's why all the children are going to be removed, and CPS is going to recognize under federal law the grounds upon which you are taking the children from custody from those that are engaging in state surveillance with the government. All right, it is currently 6:32 p.m. and this is P.O.C. I want you to look at this engineered light that's appearing. This is molesting my buttocks, molesting my thighs while I'm facing the light source here. Impossible light activity. Not only impossible because this is the same apartment where the sun is rising. This is where the sun is supposedly setting. And this is where you remember what happened on March 22nd, 2022, where the light source left where the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department was located around me. And I got on public transportation, and that light source remained over me on Route 61 as I went to the Fontana Lewis Library. And that's where the sun set, as you saw in video documentation. That's the entity engaging in a sex offense. This is what UPS is participating in. And doing so because that demon-possessed agency of the state engaging in the pattern of conduct knows that it was exposed again. But like I said, all I did was make an example. It's already documented. All right, so you're talking about what's going to generate inevitably in court documentation. So making an example of you on the world stage, and you come and confirm what I didn't even need you to come and confirm. This is dynamic light. This is stationary light. The entity is aiming engineer light inside of the apartment while the entity is stalking obsessively by helicopter. And this is what UPS came and participated in, okay? Everybody lives here is going to federal prison. That's a demon stalking in the path with light. That's a dangerous psychopath, a violent sex offender, and somebody who's obsessed with me, driving in all of the evidence, all of that engineer light all over the ground, all of that engineer light on the building, under the light source that's rising and setting at the same address. And that's also documented as impunity. CPS is not going to hesitate at all. Let me give you another vantage point. Silver Ridge Townhomes, a facilitating venue. When I stood in front of that property, the light source was right there over me. This is the same. This is another vantage point where you're looking at the same pattern of conduct. Look at what I documented at 10:23 in the morning. And you have what is the same sky space, aiming light into my bedroom, as though it's going to ricochet off of my mirrors and then hit the floor beneath me, hit this wall beneath me, because the entity is obsessed with touching, stalking, molesting, a sex offender, okay? There's no sun that's going to be over me at 10:23 in the morning while I'm at the Silver View Townhomes. All of them are going to be subject to federal prosecution. They're all sex offenders. That's exactly how they're going to be prosecuted. Systematically engaging in criminal surveillance with LAPD, by the way. And they're engaging in what is also the maintenance of this light source that was literally over here as I captured on video. And now here it is here. This is no far off point. It has nothing to do with the Fontana Lewis Library. There's no sunlight that's going to appear while it is over is viewable through Spring Street and Sierra at Fontana at the same time. Okay, this is the reality. Let me bring it home again. The Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, they're violent sex offenders, demented sex offenders who are demon possessed. And that's not an exaggeration. That's why you're seeing the pattern of conduct underway. So all you did was learn today, again, it's the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department is not exempt. That's what you're learning when you're looking at the same exact pattern of conduct while I'm documenting it in Los Angeles. On March 22nd, 2022, I went back to Ontario and I came to Pomona in order to document the P.O.C. The Los Angeles Sheriff's Department is engaging in what is group stalking, engaging in the sex offense, just like they were on March 22nd. It's a P.O.C. Like I said, it's currently 6:35 p.m. All right, that is the entity engaging the path. That's Mignon Clemens. She's going to federal prison on a cane and all, surrounded by directed light. Okay, crouching over, limping in engineered light activity. Okay, period. All right, demon-possessed group stalker. All of this engineered light over here, none of this is occurring naturally. All of it is literally capturing the phenomenon, and it is the evidence all over their apartment building because they're all group stalkers. All right, none of that's occurring while it's outside of Fontana Lewis Library. None of it's occurring while literally the sun is right here. Okay, that's the P.O.C. That is the pattern of conduct, keeping engineered light all over the surfaces for purposes of maintaining light activity, crawling all around in the engineered light. And how do you maintain surveillance inside of the private space? You invade it with engineered light. This is a constructive presence of the state that has no warrant or probable cause lawful right whatsoever to keep you under surveillance. And you're seeing it occurring everywhere, including in public. The entity has no warrant or probable cause to engage in the pattern of conduct while you're on public transportation. The entity has no warrant or in concert with the people of the state. The entity has no warrant or probable cause to keep you under surveillance while I'm at work in Los Angeles, in concert with the people of the state who live and come onto the grounds, just like UPS did, to do nothing other than participate as the demon-possessed that they are, the hostile demon-possessed entity that they are, because they're mad, they're hostile because they got exposed today. I'm going to expose them in civil and criminal court as well. All right, it is currently 6:37 p.m. This is P.O.C. All right, this is, I want you to this. The entity is sounding sirens, and this is a demon that's engaging in what is maintaining presence in the path. Alrighty, it is currently, again, 6:37 p.m. and they know that the camera is zoomed in on them. This is a demon in every way focused on me. Maintaining presence of the path. Engineer light is all over the ground around them. And this is why the people of the state go to federal prison that live at the crime scene, that work at the crime scene. This is why. Okay, this impunity is going to be attributed to everybody. It's the criminal activity of an entity. And so while one thinks that they can drive away and they're getting away with something, no, it's criminal co-conspirators going to be prosecuted for that. All of that which is reasonably foreseeable to precipitate from that criminal system that they are jointly engaging in. And this is called impunity. All right, in engineered light, monitoring and molesting my thighs right now, which is terrorism, engaging in psychological terror while they're monitoring the ongoing documentation. All 59 units are going to federal prison. The entity stalking in a helicopter for 47 minutes, they're all going to federal prison. The entity arriving on the grounds via UPS to communicate an act of retaliation, they're all going to federal prison. That impunity is going to be attributed to all 59 units, and all of the children here are going to be removed as well. It is currently, again, I just wanted to spell that out for you. That's how federal group stalking monitoring is going to be prosecuted, because that's the system. The government's engaging in it with everybody. And so everybody's going to be prosecuted for what everybody's doing. Nobody's getting away with anything while one demon flees, another demon is documented, period. Okay? That's P.O.C.